Imagine sitting in your driveway, staring at your car, you're looking at your alignment, thinking that toe might be a little bit off, and daydreaming about faster turn-in response at the next track day. You have 1,200 American dollars burning a hole in your pocket. That's enough for a nice set of tires and heck, just maybe a set of lighter wheels. So you jump online to threepiece.us, of course, to start shopping for some wheels, and it seems like every forum thread, every Facebook Marketplace post, and every magazine article from the days when we had tuner magazines, RIP, keeps dropping one name. Konig, you guessed it. Now, older enthusiasts like myself, oh my god, remember Konig as the brand that plastered full-page ads in Superstreet and Import Tuner 25, 30 years ago. We're talking chrome lips, we're talking tuner-era icons that cost less than a semester of community college textbooks. These days, though, Konig insists that they've grown up. They talk about flow forming, they talk about rotary forging, they talk about stuff like strength-to-weight ratios, and they back grassroots and professional motorsports. From SCCA Solo to Formula Drift, Konig is everywhere that you see cars doing cool stuff. So here's the big question we are answering today. Has Konig really leveled up, or are they still the bargain basement choice you tolerate until your bank account can stomach dropping $4,000 on some bulk wheels? As always, in our Worth It series, I'm going to break it down for you in plain English you can actually use. We are talking about the brand's heritage. We're talking engineering. We're talking real-world performance, which is what really matters. And of course, we're going to tally up an honest score. There's no sugarcoating, no fanboying, and brands, if you see this and you don't like it, just please don't sue us. Thank you. So grab your coffee, buckle, not quite for this one, grab your torque wrench because it's a wheel video, and let's dig right in. So let's talk the backstory first. Konig kicked off their journey in the wheel industry in 1983 in New York City, baby, importing low-cost cast wheels just as the sport compact scene started foaming at the mouth for affordable style. Through the late 90s and early 2000s, the brand practically wallpapered tuner magazines, car shows like Hot Import Nights and Nopi, and the wheel models had weird names like Helium, Rewind, and Unknown. These were gravity cast, they were light enough, and they were absolutely everywhere, especially on Civics, Integras, and even those Drift Missile 240s held together by zip ties and optimism. Thank God the missile crisis is over. Fast forward to 2013, the aftermarket's matured, it's grown up a little bit, enthusiasts track their cars more seriously, and cheap cast wheel becomes an offensive word in internet arguments. Konig's answer is something that they called flow forming technology, or FFT in fancy marketing speak. In practical terms, the wheel is still cast, the face is cast at the end of the day, but they heat the barrel up to forging temperatures and spin roll it over a mandrel. The rolling elongates the aluminum's grain structure, it packs the molecules in there a lot tighter together, and it cuts fat off the inner barrel, yielding a wheel that is roughly 15 to 20% lighter and markedly stronger than the brand's own cast designs. So, let's break that down. You pick up a lighter wheel without picking up a second job. What more could you ask for? Since that pivot, half of Konig's catalog now carries an FFT badge with names like Hypergram, Decagram, Ultragram, Ampliform, and the new Hexaform. Form, gram, flowform, mind blown. Now, you'll still find gravity cast styles in their lineup for the ultra-budget crowd, but the marketing spotlight from Konig is firmly on the flowform stuff. Grassroots racers seem to have noticed. Browse any paddock at a NASA time trial weekend, and you will see a stack of bronze hypergrams chilling next to the jacks and cordless impact. So let's break the engineering down here. What the heck are you actually buying when you buy your Konig wheels from threepiece.us and pack with some tires on it, right? Let's translate the metallurgy into something you actually feel behind the wheel. Well, a cast wheel is often born when molten aluminum is poured into a mold, cooled, and machined. They're cheap, they're flexible for styling, they are almost always heavier because you need more material to achieve minimum strength. A fully forged wheel, by contrast, starts life as a big aluminum slug that is then squashed under ridiculous pressure until the atoms form six-pack abs, baby. We're getting shredded for summer with our forged wheels. That is why forged wheels weigh so little and cost so much. Now, Konig's flow forming lands between those two extremes. Take an 18 by 9.5 hypergram. Owners who actually put these wheels on scales. Forum nerds absolutely love spreadsheets. Trust me, I saw a lot of them researching for this video. They report a weight right around 20 pounds, give or take half a pound for finish and their scales calibration and all that stuff. Now, a comparable OEM wheel of that size is often 24 to 26 pounds, if not heavier, depending on design. Knock 4 to 6 pounds off each corner and you've just lightened your car. Buy a toddler without deleting the rear seats. That means you can still make a toddler in your car. Okay, I can't say that. That weight loss shows up as quicker steering response, better ride compliance because the suspension is not wrestling iron anvils, and yes, a tiny improvement in acceleration and braking distances, although we're not going to cite numbers because you're not really doing that. Strength matters too. Konig's FFT wheels carry Japan's JWL and VIA certifications, meaning they can survive impact and radial fatigue tests that the Japanese government sets for passenger cars. Konig also self-certifies a handful of models to meet SAE J2530, the North American fatigue standard. Drag racing fans might know SFI 15.1, and the company's Hexaform DS meets that as well, meaning you can wrap these up in some sticky boys and handle violent launches all day without shearing the spokes off like soggy pretzels. Are they bulletproof? No wheel is, especially if you plow into an LA pothole masquerading as a meteor crater. But FFTs typically bend and crack less than a cast option. So if you like to hit potholes, that might be a positive for you. Again, why? Durability anecdotes back that up. Over an FT86 club, there's a driver who's logged 30 autocross weekends on a set of 17-inch hypergrams. He posts photos of the wheels every single season. You got some rock chips in the powder coat, of course, but no cracks, no wobbles at speed, no drama. They just work. Now contrast that with stories of super cheap cast wheels egg shaping after 3 hard sessions, and you begin to appreciate why rotary forging exists. So let's talk performance where it really matters though, on the street and on the track. Now on the street, the difference between a cast wheel and a flow-formed wheel is a little bit like the difference between regular sneakers and lightweight running shoes. Day to day, either pair will get you down the block, but the lighter shoes feel livelier, you notice less fatigue after a sprint, and they overall just feel better. Unstrung mass basically works the same way. Less rotational weight means the dampers respond faster to bumps, the tires track more consistently over rough roads, and the steering inputs get to the pavement with fewer, hey, give me 1 sec here to get this turn dialed in delays. Take it to the track and the benefits magnify. Grassroots Motorsports magazine mounted a set of hypergrams and RPF1s to identical BRZs, and then hot lapped both cars. Now the Konigs shaved multiple pounds and clawed back a 1/10 or 2 per lap versus the stock wheels, nearly matching the RPF1s, but at around 2/3 of the cost. Did the pro driver set lap records? No, but the stopwatch showed measurable gain and the tires came off looking evenly scrubbed, which tells you that the barrel stiffness resisted flex, which is really important under cornering load. There are limits, obviously. Slap a 4,000-pound S550 Mustang on full slicks, making 900 wheel and pound apex curves at Sebring for 30 minutes pop, and you'll probably wish you spent Volk racing money. But for cars under 3,200 pounds, making reasonable power numbers, GR86, Miata, Civic, SI, WRX, we make a lot of videos on these, right? Konig's FFT line routinely endures 20-minute HPDE sessions with hot tires and hot brakes and rolls back into the pits without new stress cracks glowing in the bead seat. Now, let's talk money, baby, ching, because worth it always circles back to budgets. A brand new set of 17-inch hypergrams, depending on where you go, but if you get them from us, they're going to be the cheapest, retails at just under $1,000. Somewhere between $950 and $1,100, depending on offset, depending on finish, depending on options, depending on if you bought it from somewhere that sucks or us. Step up to 18 by 9.5 ultragrams and you're hovering around $1,300 for 4 wheels, which is a pretty good deal. For perspective, a forged offering from Rays or BBS in the same size start at around $3,500, typically north of $4,000. If you care about price per pound saved, the math favors Konig. A BRZ wheel swap that removes 16 pounds total will cost you around $60 per pound. We're talking filet mignon territory at that point. With hypergrams, the forged solution might cost triple per pound. Resale value is a different story. A used set of Volk TE37s barely depreciates, while used Konigs do lose about 45% of their value after using them for a little while. But if you intend to keep the wheels until you kind of can't use them anymore, resale may not matter that much to you. For a lot of people, you just buy wheels and put them on your car and you don't really think about that. Now, there are hidden costs. Konig's bronze powder coat looks fantastic, but as a satin color does chip more easily than the anodized finish on higher end wheels. If you daily drive through salted winters, do expect peppered spokes by spring unless you ceramic coat or you just take them off for winter, which is what you probably should do. Chip repair is cheap, but it is worth noting. So let's address the big elephant lounging in the comment section. Okay, but Konig isn't Volk. They're reps, bro. Well, if your car meets social currency, depends on forged wheel bragging rights and Instagram followers, Konig is not going to elevate you to influencer status. Some of their designs echo icons from Rays or BBS. Slim spokes, split spokes, twin 6 spokes, and purists are going to go, do I smell a derivative? Yet, Konig's modern catalog also includes genuinely fresh styles, and the company has poured time and money into proper brake caliper clearance, hub-centric bores on select models, and knurled bead seats that grip tire beads under lateral load. Owners of these wheels, they generally sound pretty happy. Hop on Reddit and poke around r/wheels or Naziok, and you'll find praise for out-of-the-box balancing, often needing less than half an ounce of weight per wheel, and for customer service that will send you out a replacement centering ring without drama regardless of where you bought the wheels. Complaints usually revolve around finish, longevity, and occasionally minor casting marks on the wheels. However, very few structural horror stories. And again, guys, you get what you pay for. If you're paying $1,300 and the focus of the brand is motorsport, you're not getting the finest finish quality ever made. It's just the way it is, y'all. So, what's the score, boys? Are they worth it? It's time to translate all that into the 5 pillars we use in every single episode. First, we're talking build quality, engineering, Konig's flow form construction, JWL and VIA certifications, and years and years and years and years of grassroots track use earn them a firm 7 out of 10. Why 7? They're not forged. They are way beyond throwaway cast replicas. They are not forged wheels. 10 is forged wheels. There you go. Second, performance and functionality. The weight savings are genuine. The brake caliper clearances are generous and very helpful if you have a car with a BBK on it. And track day endurance for sub 3,200 pound cars is solid. Another 7 feels right here. Third, we're talking cost benefit, and this is where Konig absolutely shines. When you measure dollars per pound saved, there are very few brands that touch them. It's basically Konig and NK right there. That's a 9. Fourth, aesthetics and brand reputation. Style is subjective, although I like them and our customers seem to as well. The brand does still wear some budget stigma, so we are landing on a 6. Their designs are not really new, fresh, and original. They just look good. And finally, real-world ownership experience. Support from Konig is great. Structural failures are rare in intended use, but the finish does have finishing issues, which a $1,300 wheel will. A respectable 7. Let's stack those numbers up. Konig's FFT wheels average roughly 7.2 out of 10. So, are Konig wheels actually worth it for you? Well, if you daily drive, autocross on the weekends, hit a few HPDE events a year, and want to feel a real difference without absolutely incinerating your savings account, Konig's flow-formed lineup makes a persuasive argument for you. You drop meaningful weight, you gain stronger barrels than bargain cast wheels, and you keep enough cash for a second set of tires or a second motor after you blow your FRS's motor on the track. That doesn't make Konig the right answer for every build. If you are chasing podiums in a heavyweight high horsepower class, there are potentially better options, either forged wheels or wheels that are designed for heavier vehicles. They carry a stronger margin of safety and stiffness that you will eventually want. If you crave the cultural capital of a forged JDM icon, Konig cannot help you there. They look nice, they're not D37s. But for the other 90% of us enthusiasts who value function over flex and want their upgrade budget to cover more than just a set of wheels, Konig has evolved into a smart, balanced choice. They have graduated from tuner throwaway to genuine middleweight champion. And at 7.2 out of 10 on our scorecard, I would call them definitely worth it. Thank you all so much for watching. If this video helped you out, let us know a brand we should talk about next. Hit the subscribe button, the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.